A Black Lives Matter activist caught embezzling money. I'm as shocked as you are. Black Lives Matter organiser Zara Salim jailed over £30,000 fundraiser fraud. Sitting there looking like Kanye on Alex Jones. An organizer of Black Lives Matter of a Black Lives Matter protest has been jailed for using thousands of pounds in fundraising donations on her expensive lifestyle. Zara Salim was a director of Changing Your Mindset, a charity for disadvantaged youths in Bristol. She previously denied taking money from a fundraising page set up before the toppling of Edward Colston's statue, but later admitted one count of fraud. Salim was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison at Bristol Crown Court. Jesus Christ, they actually jailed her. The 23-year-old from Romford, London, was one of the organisers of a protest in Bristol on the 7th of June 2020, which had been arranged in response to the death of George Floyd in the US. Salim gained a high public profile from her involvement as one of the BLM marchers on the day of the protest, which ended with the statue of slave trader Edward Colston being pulled down and dumped in Bristol Harbour. In the days leading up to the protest, Salim set up a fundraising page to buy personal protective equipment to help legally facilitate the march, which took place during the COVID-19 pandemic restrictions. Remember how you weren't allowed to go to your grandmother's funeral, but you were allowed to run through the streets damaging everybody's property? Remember that? I remember. More than £32,000 was raised, and Salim pleaded guilty to fraud by abusing her position as director of Changing Your Mindset by transferring the money to her personal bank accounts and spending it between June 20th and September 2021. How the fuck? How do you spend 30 grand in like a year? Jesus. Judge Michael Longman said more than 2,500 payments were made from her account and a constant leakage over a significant period of time, which included living expenses, a new iPhone, hair and beauty appointments, clothing, Amazon orders, takeaways, and taxis. Yeah, I've got to say, man, left-wing activism's hella lucrative, isn't it? BLM buy large mansions. The judge told Salim raising money for Changing Your Mindset was a worthwhile cause, but that you then used it not for their benefit, but for your own, funding a lifestyle for yourself that you could not otherwise have afforded. He added the amount raised exceeded expectations by a significant margin. In the absence of a business account to pay the money into, the decision was made to pay it into your own account as an interim measure. The others involved in the project trusted you to hold the funds securely until a better arrangement could be made. There should have been no reason why the money could not be transferred into that account, but problems became apparent. The money was not transferred, and you made excuses for that failure. A business account was set up in April 2021, but the money was not transferred. Salim admitted the money was gone, but put forward contradictory excuses for its disappearance. She also offered to report herself to the police, but did not do that. The court heard that in June 2021, Salim discussed the fraud over WhatsApp with a friend, telling them, "I've done something horrendous, you can't tell anyone until I've properly sorted it out," and draft apology messages were also discovered on her phone. Celine claimed she had suffered from psychosis, which stopped her from thinking rationally. I think it was you saw 30 grand in your bank account and that stopped you thinking rationally. Although she originally pleaded not guilty, she said she feels remorse for her actions. Changing Your Mindset has since closed down. So that was 30 grand that could have went to, depends who you are, but could have went to a good cause, and instead it went to her hair appointments, which doesn't really matter because she's all black bagged like she's fucking Bane from Gotham. Right? It's just... Yeah, it's really common. If you notice how common this is, where it turns out that a lot of these fundraisers for BLM back in the day are all turning out to be frauds. Like, even the main BLM movement itself in America got caught because all the organisers were all buying mansions and luxury cars and holidays and shit like that. It's just, yeah. Um, I've got a feeling that these movements aren't going to get very many donations in future, especially when it turns out that a lot of the people running them are just scam artists.